Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, I kind of wanted to go and speak up and kind of have a little bit of a talk going on over here because there's actually been a really big retailer that we actually even showcased up and talked about on our channel a few days ago that's basically been making some really bad news floating around. You guys may have heard the story, especially if you guys are more on the PC side, and like I said, we did go touch on the channel itself, but I kind of feel like I wanted to go and talk just a little bit more and kind of give my own kind of thoughts and also more support out here for another YouTuber who's been kind of doing a single-handed battle against and really kind of somewhat reputable, as of not really right now too reputable, but was very reputable company out there called Newegg. And now I'm sure you guys may have heard this story going on, but this the overall information that everything is coming out from this story is vile to the point of like I'm almost disappointed, and I almost don't even want to go and recommend people even shopping there. And my own self in the future, I'm going to be very apprehensive when it comes to me even shopping there in the first place. And now you guys might be thinking, oh whatever, maybe someone just had like a Karen moment. No, pretty much everything that actually basically has happened has been ridiculously bad. But on the part two of this though, there actually has been some good stuff that's actually come out of this so far, as of even recent for the news itself. But I just want to go kind of give my support over here to basically Gamers Nexus, who has been kind of going hardcore when it comes to Newegg. But I always kind of feel like when it comes to people with a voice, especially maybe not so much for me, I'm not like the biggest YouTuber out there, but especially who's someone who has a very big audience and maybe kind of also defines a lot on their reviews and what they do more realistically, I almost kind of feel like there's something we have to go and say to bring attention to this and make sure everyone's on the same playing field and basically know that we're all pro-consumer. So I'm probably sounding a little bit crazy in this one, so whatever, just make sure you guys are subscribed or like the video as well, especially for this type of video. All of our usual sell links down below, especially the Samsung SSDs, the Amazon PS5s, the Twitter and Twitch streams, and all that good stuff. And let's go dive on into it. So I'm sure you guys probably know, but when it comes to this, basically Gamers Nexus, it's kind of just a very big YouTube channel out there. But they had a little bit of a drama going on with Newegg. So the kind of the big overall story for this, in case you guys had a chance to see it or haven't heard about it or whatever it is, basically this big YouTuber, they had a chance to go buy a motherboard. They bought it from Newegg open box, which that's why I'm kind of more of a big person. I usually like buying new. So I also kind of recommend you guys don't buy stuff from scalpers or third-party websites, just in case there's any issues, you have issues with receipts or all that type of stuff. So at this point, they bought it. They literally never used it. So it was like, whatever, he accidentally got it, not a big deal, whatever. And they returned it without even opening the box. So you would think the usual return thing, like say you get something like a PS5 or Xbox, whatever, to your house, you had to return it, you just literally kept in the same box, you'd assume you'd be all good, right? No. And that's where the kind of the big issue kind of came over here. So basically then they also then try to go and deny it because maybe something was wrong with it. But once again, they never actually opened it, and that actually is explained later on as well. So basically Newegg themselves denied, saying basically there was like pin damage and there was thermal paste on the board. So it basically seemed like someone was tinkering with it. They may have actually personally broke it themselves, in theory, from Newegg. But that wasn't what happened, because the person themselves literally just returned it straight up. So then they were trying their best to go and kind of absolve it and fix the issue and everything. And then they were also kind of basically refusing about trying to get this, like, the board back. So if they're being like, hey, if there's an issue with this, let's go and see it, send it back. We're tech-based channels. I'd probably say the same boat, because for me at least, I've built a few PCs. I have like the really rough idea of how to basically go and do it. And then when they got that, they go and basically got the board, and they finally made that video itself. And it's kind of, it's been kind of floating around. There's been like 3 videos at this point. It's really bad. The main reason why I bring this up is, number one, in support, because I think a big major company like Newegg should not allow this to happen. This is just kind of deceitful. This is basically them going and selling open products, which I'll get to in a second, and basically being like, yeah, it's probably your fault if you broke it. And this has actually been a big case for a lot of folks out here have apparently been having issues with it. So the big thing is that they basically got the board back. They thought it was supposed to be broken. They never even opened it. Even Newegg was being like, yeah, this is broken, we open it. But they never opened the box itself, the actual buyers themselves. So Newegg thankfully did go and finally refund them, and they sent the board back. But when they got the board back, so this is like the same thing that was broken, and they already got their money back for it, but they just literally never opened. It turns out that there is a huge sticker from the actual company itself, Gigabyte, and basically means that they were trying their best to go and Newegg themselves send it to a different company to have it fixed. But apparently what happened is, like, from all this research and all the journalism, is that when this went and showed back up and they bought to go and try to fix it, basically they try to go in. So Newegg themselves, the company itself that's supposed to be selling this product, who sold them a faulty product that was literally broken on arrival, tried to go and send it out to a different company, aka Gigabyte. And then they were like, yeah, we could fix it, you just got to pay the money for it. And then Newegg said no. Newegg refused to repair. So they basically were like, it's okay, whatever, it's fine, just send it back to us, is whatever, it's broken. And then they already knew it was confirmed. They literally sent it on out. They themselves, Newegg themselves, knew it was unworkable. It was not a working product. So then they went and then just sold it out to someone, and they just hope that they wouldn't care, or maybe they get lucky and it would be like working when they plug that in, or they just forget to pick it up, whatever it might be. But unfortunately for them, they got a YouTuber, and me as a YouTuber myself, if something's wrong, we're gonna go complain about it. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. This is so unacceptable for a business, because I've actually seen this happen quite a bit for other people, especially on Newegg. Even like, this is not even for like the YouTube community, this is like back in the day. I used to so heavily recommend Newegg nonstop. I even still, if you guys watch my video literally like 3 hours ago, literally the past like few weeks, I always mention the Newegg Day-to-Day Shuffle, where they sometimes have PS5s and Xboxes in almost every one of my videos. Almost every one, because it does. They do occasionally sell consoles and people trying to get their consoles, kind of what we're mainly doing on this channel. But it's ridiculous to go and see that a company, first and foremost, was so headstrong about not accepting a refund, not trying to fix the problem, and overall just being like a stubborn company when it was 100% their fault the entire time. The fact that they had a broken actual motherboard being sent out in the first place, their fault. The fact that they were assuming it was someone else's issue when it was literally their fault in the first place because it was literally never open, their fault. The fact that they tried to go and send it over to Gigabyte to have it fixed, and they decide not to, and they still want to go and sell it, their fault. The fact that they had such a bad PR disaster and they've barely had any good notice, which they actually did go make a comment in a second, I'll talk about in a second, their fault. And this is kind of just sickening because this is a really, really big name company, and especially in the kind of somewhat niche PC market, so many folks out there have always vouched for Newegg. Even my own self, even from my friends trying to build PCs. And the fact that this is still an issue, and the fact that there has been like probably thousands at this point. I've looked through Twitter, I've looked through Reddit, I've looked through all the posts and all the news on this, that this has basically been a common scam, or some people just basically are just like, well, I lost $300 because I tried to go buy like say a power supply, or try to buy some RAM, try to go buy like a motherboard, and at the end of the day it was still all broken. And then they got it, and then they're trying to get an issue, trying to get a return. Credit card companies are being like, nope, here's the tracking order, you have it, there's nothing wrong with it. Newegg, you're trying to get a return, they're being like, what do you mean? You're the one that broke it. But we even saw this specifically with all the proof from this stuff. If you guys want to dive into it, you guys totally can. That it's all actually their fault. That they're literally selling used products that are literally broken, that they never fix, and then they're assuming that they're actually the person who actually bought it, fixed it in order it got broken in transit, or whatever it is. And I feel like this type of stuff is sickening. I despise this, because for me, who's trying my best to get you guys consoles, I've seen issues, I've seen errors, I've seen FedEx mess up, I've seen Walmart take 3 months to go and ship a PS5, and I always tell you guys, like, go and talk to live support and get gift cards. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. Who cares? You should have your console. Is it Sony's fault? Yeah, that sucks for Walmart, but they're the ones that already sold it to you and they have your money. Get your money back. And I'm a very big person on this, because if you guys, and you guys are just normal Joes, moms and dads out there, or even maybe people my age, and you don't deserve to be losing $500 like how we literally had this over here for Gamer Nexus happen. This should not be a thing. This should not be a way where big companies can make even more money off the little guys. And it's just disappointing. And also pretty much probably illegal, because you can't be selling broken products and lying about it and thinking that like everyone's gonna be okay at the end of the day. And as I mentioned, we've had like probably thousands up on Twitter and other various places, and probably even some of you guys in the comment section down below can probably go and agree that this is kind of a big issue. It's just not good. And it went to the point where I think they even said they want to go book a flight to California and then go to the Newegg offices in person on foot to go and kind of talk about this issue, because it's just such a bad issue with so much bad PR and so many like thousands of folks out there in support of them. And I want to be a part of that support, because I think it's just a big disappointment seeing a big company like Newegg essentially going and scamming their user base. I think it's awful. But I do want to make a quick note though. Now, I'm pretty anti-Newegg in this video, don't get me wrong. I mean, I still probably will recommend them for the day-to-day shuffles. We can kind of go give them one kind of nice thing too, because they did actually go and have a public statement that they will now be changing out their actual refunds. So after all this type of stuff, they did actually, at least there was some good so far, when they did go and make a public statement stating a Newegg spokesperson added that they've created new policies to ensure a hassle-free return experience on all open box merchandise returns for motherboards and CPUs. Now, I think this is overall kind of nice to see. Even the actual article writers are like, hey, what kind of policies are going to have over here too as well? And they did also want to say they will be intending to accept all returns on open box products on a no questions asked basis, in what could be considered a huge win for customers with the firm, which I will go and say it's very nice to go and see that their official statement. We'll have to kind of see how this kind of story keeps on evolving, but it is nice to go and see that Newegg themselves is trying to be like, okay, we messed up really, really big apparently here, really bad. Let's make sure this does not happen again, and at least open box policies. But the one biggest issue with this still is the fact that Newegg still did go and scam apparently loads of folks, and you can only, more on actions speak louder than words, and right now these are only words. So I just want to go give you guys a big heads up, be a little bit careful when it comes to Newegg, and the fact that we have a company out here even still to this day trying their best to scam their user bases, although it seems there's always that like a little bit of like wiggle room when it comes to this. It seems with all these thousands of outreaches and outcries and credit card denials, it's not looking too good. So while it is kind of nice for them to change their policies, I want to see them doing this for multiple months. And I also want to go and see Looney Gamers Nexus literally on their front door, because this is unacceptable. So I kind of want to go talk about this because I mentioned, because I do kind of bring up Newegg myself. And when it comes to all this type of news, I'll be honest, it's kind of not good. This is like if Amazon basically started like mass scamming everyone and they just didn't care. So kind of give me your thoughts and comments down below. Let me know if you guys ever had any issues when it comes to Newegg itself. And like I said, I just want to make a video kind of in somewhat in support, because as a YouTuber and kind of deal hunter, this kind of hits personal to me. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We'll give you guys more updates if anything good kind of goes and happens. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below, Samsung SSDs down below. Sign up for that Weeble, sign up for that Coinbase. And I just appreciate you guys all so much for being here and watching. And hopefully everything for all them can be resolved even better. Love you guys.